the rare Abe crack up.
Breaking news. Abraham, non-inclusive.
No, I'm going to the race. That's so dumb.
El Santo contra las momias de Guanajuato. It's a great movie. El Santo just retired. El Hijo del Santo. Anyway, SanDiego FC.
That class inspired me to write a script about what's it called? A luchador, but I never finished it. But it was basically a little bit of a ripoff of El Santo and then a ripoff of something else. But
SanDiego FC faces off
Probably.
this Wednesday.
Probably Nacho Libre, if I had to guess.
no, it wasn't.
That's
actually.
pretty cool.
It was something.
So as you mentioned, Cabo, right? Cabo, Tyler Heaps and his wife were out there, Lindsay Heaps. Still weird to say, but it was very interesting because there was another person who was there, Milan Liloski. We talked about a little bit on the Chromaniacs this last Thursday with Craig and Alex Pena. But it's very interesting because like that's when some of these deals actually happen. The last thing that we saw Milan Liloski do on a broadcast was talk to Tyler Heaps, and then the thing after you saw was a post-match press conference. Well, then you saw him address that conversation with Tyler Heaps. So I don't know. I remember in football, Matthew Stafford one time went to Cabo with Sean McVay, came back a Ram.
True.
Just a different sport, but just like
Then won a Super Bowl.
negotiations and won a Super Bowl.
I mean, didn't the SDFC have a friendly with Cholos because they met in Vegas?
Yeah, that's literally how that.
Like they were both in
partnership.
Vegas at a hotel, and we're like, "Oh, Tom Penn was like, let me leave the blackjack table to go."
That's what he says.
He said that.
That's what he says. I know. That's what he
I
said.
believe
That.
He probably
But, like-
didn't leave the blackjack table.
But like,
lost. Let me go. Talk
but
to-
like, Hank and his family own casinos, so why wouldn't they play at their own casino? I don't know.
well, because they're in Vegas.
yeah. Maybe they
You
have
would
like
still
extra.
play?
There's like maybe the owners of the
Is it
casinos
really
have their
fun?
special casinos.
Is it really
owned-
fun taking your own
secret
money,
ones?
spending your own money, and taking your own money? It's your house money. Like, I think it's more fun trying to take down another casino.
Yeah.
I had a professor who loved Denzel and who would only watch his movies. Courage Under Fire, Crimson Tide, etc. Man on Fire in El DF, a great movie.
Ooh, yeah.
Great Denzel.
Una palabra. No dice nada.
Wednesday we'll have a match with SanDiego FC as it didn't have a game this last weekend. Going into it because it's a very, very incredibly important matchup. As the standings here for SanDiego FC place them at second place in the Western Conference. They're pretty close in the overall supporter shield race. Abe and Chiva keep playing the footsies.
No, he stepped on me.
I
so
accidentally
kicked him.
started it, and then now he's kicking me under the table.
Foul. So again, second place, and they will play against Vancouver Whitecaps, who are the first place in the Western Conference.
Vancouver does have a game in hand still,
Correct.
but essentially, this technically after Wednesday could put SanDiego FC in first place in the Western Conference.
We may come back with SanDiego FC atop of the West, and I can check right now, but just supporter shield. Here we go. What is this? I know they're still ways from Philadelphia. Are they?
They're 4 points away.
4 points away. I mean, they play twice, right? This
Yeah.
week and over the weekend. So potentially, SanDiego FC can not only have first place,
Get 1 point away.
get 1 point away.
Wait, no.
No, they
36,
can.
39, yeah.
Yeah, they can. 1 point away from just supremacy in MLS. So if you told anybody, if you told Mikey Varas, if you told Tyler Heaps, if you told Marcus Varson, if you told Andres Reyes, good luck catching him or finding him and to tell him. But if you told them that this is where SanDiego FC would be at this point, I think it's an incredible start to the season. Probably one of the, I think the MLS narrative of best expansion team in history conversation kind of died down a little bit. And so I think it's more of a wait and see now of like, what is playoffs going to look like?
Mhm.
How far can they get into playoffs? Because if they go all the way to a championship, that then default becomes the best expansion team's first season in history, let alone winning the championship. Well, maybe winning the Supporters Shield, but not winning the MLS Cup is, the greatest, considered the greatest. So they're on pace to do either one of these.
So this is per MLS, the new power ranking, San Diego FC is currently 3rd in MLS. Anders Dreyer is the best player in MLS. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the boy can share.
And
Let's
share.
share. Sharing is Karen.
Here
Sometimes.
you go.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Yeah, so you have Anders Dreyer is the best player in MLS. He's up to 8 goals and 9 assists. Only one of those is a secondary assist, meaning that he was a pass to assist, and leads the league in goal contributions. That's not a fluke. Per FB Ref, he paces MLS with 14.1 non-penalty expected goals plus expected assists. The next closest player, Lionel Messi, at 12.2.
Being next to Lionel Messi in anything, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, even if
When you have the league calling Anders Dreyer the best player in MLS, it's a good sign. And again, I think San Diego FC is surprising a lot of people. And I think it's fair to say that they may be surprising some of us as well.
I have to agree. I mean, surprising would imply that I had a notion of some sort, but I really didn't. I had no idea what we were going to get. Now we see we have some track records. Questions for the San Diego FC team so far. Chucky Lozano, kind of on par with what we thought at least that would happen. He's going to be injured. He's going to be out. Yeah. It's fine. We didn't necessarily expect their star number 9, whereas number 7, Marcus Mbarson, to be out. But they've managed to do well. CJ Dos Santos, I think, is the revelation of this entire team. So far, being one of the he was extended in his contract. Chris McVeigh in the defense also being a player that stepped up, and you look at Andres Reyes, you're not missing him.
He's probably the biggest surprise this season for San Diego FC.
He's my favorite player to watch outside of Dreyer, like just individually, like just how he cleans up so much in the defense.
Oh, I like it.
And okay,
yeah.
If I had to choose one that hasn't been named, I think I'd choose Luca Bombino, who was added not even like during the season, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy thing to do, integrate him into the style and then him perform at a really high level after having like a really bad first game. It's been cool to see.
Yeah,
but there's so many. You can say that about almost every single player on this team, which is a compliment to what Mike Givadas and Tyler Heaps have built.
I think if there's a player that is really also entertaining to watch, and I think everyone was excited, is Luca La Torre. Just the way he maneuvers the ball, the way he finishes plays, I think it's really refreshing to watch. But yeah, I mean, I think in every position, San Diego FC has a very unique player, and it starts on goal.
Let's do this. I don't know if you guys. I'm down with this because it's my show, our show, the show, your show, the People's Pod, the People's. Let's just talk about it. Not necessarily ratings, just we're giving descriptions of their season, right? Like, cool. CJ Dos Santos, a great season so far.
Top 5 goalkeeper.
Top 5 goalkeeper. Right, he's doing everything that's being asked of him. He's had the games with mistakes, and San Diego FC still managed to win. So, I mean, that's something that's incredibly important. Moving on down, who is that? That's Willy Kumado. Willy Kumado came in and he's kind of adapted a little bit of his style.
I think it's been average.
He's been average in like, again, if you want to say a C+. I guess we are giving grades.
So far, I'm down. CJ Dos Santos is an A.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I'd give Willy Kumado probably a B.
I'd give him a B-, just because he's gotten injured as well. I'd give Willy a B- so far.
Go ahead and follow along with us. What do you think CJ Dos Santos should be in terms of ranking? By the way, this isn't a end all be all, and obviously it's dynamic.
Yeah.
As we go through and then we go through the season.
F.
Cool.
Is that Hamady Diop?
Hamady Diop. I mean,
I'd give him a D+.
C-.
We haven't seen much of him. He did have that one line clearance, so I guess C- is fair.
Okay.
He's been pretty good with the moments.
Can't give CJ more than a B.
All right, 619 Soccer just likes to hate. I'm sorry. He's tied with the most clean sheets in the season. I don't care what you have to say. When your goalkeeper has that many clean sheets, you're doing something right. So, Yepe is an A.
Yeah, A, stellar, A+. Like that's just that's the guy. That's Captain, the guy.
Too.
Yeah.
Captain, leader, legend. Marcus Mbarson.
C-. He's been injured most of the season. Maybe a D, just because he's been injured. The moments I've seen him, and he got a couple goals before the injury, but it took him a while. It's the New Balance cleats, but I give him a D+ so far.
It's Skechers, by the way. They're
Oh,
not New
Skechers.
Balance.
New
They're
Balance. My bad.
Skechers cleats.
Skechers. Oh,
I give it a
S.
C minus. C minus.
wow, you're being very positive.
Yeah, regular C. It's passing. I think that's completely fair. Like when you have him out there, you're okay.
Mhm.
Like you're not gonna get something crazy, but you're also not gonna completely ruin the game.
All right, two sides of the same coin in a way. Oni Valakari, a player who's a center midfielder, center attacking midfielder, who's been not forced, but just he's been played in the center forward position. He can play on the wing sometimes. He's been a starter. He's a false nine.
I'd give him a B.
A B?
Because, a B because
I'm
he's
completely
very
agree.
versatile. There's moments where he hasn't been his best, but there's times where he comes in and he's crucial, and he's made some impacting plays. I'd give him a B. I think he's good. He's a good rotation player to have.
Tanya, you're safe. The Maria Sanchez discussion has ended.
Yeah.
I know that if there's one person that was devastated for this, it was Tanya from the Sirens. I do have something for her though.
Nice.
I'm gonna make sure that it goes to somebody special.
We got Tomas Angel.
Tomas Angel.
Probably a C.
D.
What? Okay.
D.
B as
D.
okay.
D.
Okay.
No, not B.
Whoa.
No, I think it's been underwhelming. It's been an underwhelming season from him. He's not maybe what they expected, and that's okay. He can get there. He has that potential, but I think so far it's been a D.
Okay.
I mean, what do you want more from a bench player? Like,
Ooh, strong words.
Take advantage of the chances you get.
I think like the way I grade is like it has to be at least passing, and at least when you're a bench player, you're not like, I don't expect all bench players to just come off and immediately like score a goal and contribute. He has scored a goal.
Lewandowski has.
Yes, but that's a very extraneous situation.
Oni Valakari did.
I put a lot of weight onto numbers,
Okay.
especially like a traditional club. You don't hand the number 9 to nobody, right?
That's fair.
I would so you're saying a bench player. What more do you expect from a bench player? I expect them to not be on the bench.
And you
that's
expect
why
the
he
number
gets a D.
9 to never
If
be
I
on
was
the bench.
San Diego
Exactly.
FC, not gonna happen, and
Mhm.
this is just me being me.
Mhm.
If you sign Lewandowski to actually not just an extension on a loan, you actually sign him,
Mhm.
I would rip the 9 out of Angel and give it to Lewandowski.
100%. Send out Angel packing.
What
to,
number does Milanowski wear right now?
20? We'll find out right now, boy. As we continue,
A++.
yes.
Being best
Honors
player in
Dryer.
MLS.
Probably gonna be
apparently.
MVP.
That's fantastic. Yeah,
Honors,
could be MVP candidate right now, baby.
MVP.
A+, yeah.
We went a long time in the Chromaniacs not talking about his goal. I'm not sure how this will hit your ears,
Okay.
but we went through the entire game essentially. But we talked about how STFC's playing well. We forgot to talk about the goal because, and then what I said, the reason we forgot to talk about it, and we brought it up and we talked about it, obviously, but like, there's just so much great that Honors Dryer does that it's easy now to almost overlook. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he scored a great goal from halfway. Like, well, yeah, well, that's what he does.
That's the type of goal
Like, that's-
that MLS makes it goal of the year or something.
Yeah.
Just because it's been so far out.
Yeah,
But
100%.
he's been the best player. Chuck Lozano, I'd give him a B+. I think the injuries keep him from being an A, but the goal contributions he has with the very limited play, I give him a B+.
Yeah, I agree with that. B+. Definitely can't be injured for that long and get an A, but he's still electric on the field.
Talking about Cisniega can walk it and be an equal or better job.
We wouldn't know. He hasn't gotten the chance, so you
Wouldn't
can't
know.
say that.
Based off of that America game, didn't do much.
Didn't
Yeah.
look super comfortable with his feet either.
Yeah.
So
Cisniega, I can't grade. He hasn't played in MLS yet, at least for San Diego FC, so N/A.
Luca de la Torre, loan.
I'd give him an A.
A-, yeah.
I'd give him an A. Like he's when he's on the field, you can tell he's on the field, even if he's not making a goal contribution. Like you can tell he's there, and there's a reason he got called up to the national team.
By the way, I give Chucky a B. I agree with you.
Mhm.
Cisniega, I mean F.
And we're all grading these on different scales as well, I think.
Yeah.
Like
these
Chuy
are just
Lozano as a
cardinal.
designated player is supposed to be performing at a really high level. So I think it's fair for us to give him like a B.
SanDiego, like there's just no data to go based off
so
of
it's
it,
an
right?
F,
So it's like
yeah.
an SAT question. Just leave it blank.
Yeah,
Just
I
let it
like
leave it
that.
blank.
That's a good, yeah.
De La Torre, I'd
A.
say, I'd say B plus.
Ooh,
He's on that cusp of A, just because I know how good he could be.
I think if he was B plus, he would. I mean, it is a BC team for the national
He's-
team, but he got the call up and he's getting minutes.
Because again, is he in that same airspace as Dreyer? Because he's A plus as Sverskov.
That's why I said A minus.
Yeah, so B
I
plus.
didn't give Yepe
89.8. 89.8.
Okay,
like
that's fair. I
just-
can see it. I can see
yeah,
it. It's like round it up
still a B.
sometimes.
Like you should have attended class.
Bruce,
You
it's
would've
an
been a B.
F. He hasn't played.
Bruce Seth.
Same thing with
Just don't grade it.
Yeah,
you can't
just
grade
leave
it.
it blank. SAT
I
questions.
think Patty McNair is a solid A on the defensive scale. I think he's been. I would even say I guess B plus A minus if we're being a little strict, just because he's missed a couple games through international duty and injury now. But the moment he's there, like he's one of the players. He's made a couple mistakes, but he's very, very reliable. I'd give him a B plus.
Yeah, he has really good distribution from the back as well.
B plus. I agree.
Mhm.
All around. First unanimous one. Loffelsend.
You know what? This is tricky because I think the games he started early in the season, he did great. I think he has the pace, and I think he just got outshined by younger players. He has MLS experience, and I think he was very reliable. But grading it where they're at now, D plus, C minus.
I mean, yeah,
C.
bench player, C.
Yeah.
He played in the midfield for the Club America game, which could signal something also for the future for where they could potentially see him.
Yeah.
But I think he's also, we never know. Like, injuries could happen. There's the playoffs too. Anything can happen. It always depends on form and stuff. So I maybe we'll see him more in Leagues Cup. It should be interesting though.
Aníbal Godoy.
A.
I'd give him a B. Just because, I mean, I think if you ask me maybe 10 games into the season, 7, 8, 10 games, I would say, oh, he's an A plus because he's that necessary to have in the midfield. I think now that other player like Alvarado has stepped up a lot, and I think now that Godoy is not there and the midfield still performing, you can kind of see like, okay, Godoy's a B. He started off hot because he was very, very, very crucial in that midfield. I think now that other players are getting used to the style and adapting, I think he's at a B.
I'd say B plus, even just because B.
That midfield is so good. That's the thing.
But the fact that he's outperforming everything that everybody was saying about him, he's a veteran. He's this. He's going to be a rotation player. No, he's a starter. He's a leader. Like his presence is missed. Yeah, Alvarado's been stepping up, but like when Godoy's not there, there's a physicality. It's not there. There's a foul or two that you don't get because he gets fouled a lot. He's a foul magnet in the midfield, and he kind of rolls around 1 or 2 times, and maybe adds a little bit.
He
something.
definitely provides at least a little bit of fear in other teams where he's the type of player that will foul you.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be like great.
He's a great player.
He's ready to foul you, right? That's not. That guy's not ready to foul anybody right now.
Who do we have next?
Well,
what did you do?
I zoomed in a little bit. Just like that guy's ready to foul.
And I don't think we probably don't even recognize enough what his veteran presence and knowledge of the MLS has done for this team.
Yeah.
And also with Panama, like he is a really, really good signing.
Just broke the record as the all-time caps leader.
Which is like a huge deal, huge accomplishment. Like top, like obviously played the most ever with Panama. Like that's going to be huge for him.
Who do we have next? Franco Negri?
Kind of ruined goals, gaps, and greats, actually. Great. No, not ruined, but just
Franco Negri.
Franco Negri.
I give him an F. I think even the games that he did start and played, he had 1 goal. He had a couple good instances, but I think overall he's just underperformed. I give him an F.
I give him a D based on the goal he scored because that's the goal in Salt Lake that turned that game.
Yeah.
And what is he doing in the midfield and up top? What is he doing with that run? Like he had no business there, and he got that game going. So for that, I'll bump him up to a D.
That was an Angel assist too.
Oh,
yeah. Also
D.
C for me, just because I mean, dude, like if you're a bench player, like, and then you come on and you score in one game and one goal, that's
He started that game.
already enough. Did he start that
Yes.
He
game?
started that game, yeah.
And
It was in
here's
the
where
first half.
I'm harsher with him. Yeah, he's a bench player, but he was a starter and he lost his spot.
He did.
Okay.
He did lose his spot
He
to
lost his
Bambino.
spot. That's why that pegs him a little
Yeah,
bit down for me.
I'll give it a D.
Hey,
Tranquilo, viejo. Boateng
Emma.
F plus D minus. Like I don't. There's not much we've seen from him to really grade him. But the moments we've seen him, he's been pretty irrelevant on the field.
He had a good game last game. I don't know if you guys caught a little bit of that,
but
but
that's
against
what
America?
what are we match day 18?
Yeah.
yeah,
D plus?
yeah, okay,
D
that's
plus.
fair.
D
That's fair.
plus.
He's in the D.
D plus.
I expected a lot from him coming into the season.
What do we
Just
have?
Same.
Los
MLS.
Morrillos.
All right. Children FC.
Ian Pilcher.
Oof. Well,
He's gotten
he
better.
started. He started the other day.
I'd give him a C minus.
Okay.
He's gotten more comfortable. He's gotten a little better. I'd give him a C minus. There's not much else I can say about him.
I agree.
Rookie.
I agree. Like he would have been had he not come back with a start and had a good start. I think he'd be D plus
Mhm.
into C minus territory.
Yeah.
But because of that game, I think he's like on the cusp of just a regular C. Like again, talking about percentages wise, like if he's at a 70, he's like a 72,
73. Yeah.
just kind of in that space because again, he's a young kid. Like a lot of these players are veterans. All these players are young kiddos, and they're kind of like, hey, what's your GPA in terms of playing with the person next to you? Well, you got these
2.0.
people with master's degree, a lot of college stock today.
Yeah.
But and then looking over, if we want to go like age is more than just a number sometimes. Look at Bombino.
Abe, what do you give Bombino?
I would give Bombino a A minus or B plus. I think he's just really, really good on that side and is able to like have a good pressure to like and for being so young as well. It's very surprising. I think a lot of teams are taken aback by how well he's played and also playing on loan and joining at such a late time from he came from LAFC, right? Or
Correct.
San-
Yes.
Yeah. Joining at such a late time and already like coming into the system really well has been like quite honestly a little bit lucky for San Diego FC.
Yeah.
Because like without him, who would be playing in that spot? It would be Negri, yeah.
Yeah.
Like which not as great as Luca has been.
Yeah. No,
I
100%.
even think Hamadi Diop is above Negri now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I'd give Bombino an A minus as well. I mean, he's made a couple of mistakes, but that's going to happen with such a young player. But he's earned that starting spot.
Yeah. I'll give him a A.
Yeah.
I'll give him an A. Yeah. He's been solid in that back line. So
Anissa
is anybody tracking what are we giving these?
No,
No,
we don't.
but
so
we
it's
can
fine.
clip
We can
it.
track
We have
it.
a guy that can clip it.
Anis Saidi, I think SAT, skip it.
Yeah, skip
Got
it.
injured in the
Yeah.
Medica game. Not a lot of
Yeah, he's the youngest player in
anything.
the team too. So
Chamaco. Definitely you can tell this was a different day based on the background because again the this is behind baseball, right? Like with behind soccer. As the season goes, some of these studios, like this picture, I believe, could have been taken in FC Northland. While he was over there, they just sent a jersey over and said, "Hey, we need you. Click, go."
yeah, I can see that.
And he also got a haircut from there. Milan Miloski, A plus,
Yeah.
A plus.
A plus,
He has to start.
A plus.
We need him to start.
No,
We?
Yeah.
Who's we?
well, yeah, Chiva.
We need him to
A
start
plus.
so we can cover it
Oh,
as media.
oh, there you go.
Okay.
Good spin. A plus, but I disagree. He doesn't need to start because let me remind you, and I
Yes.
no, let me remind you
Oh.
of a young and you know it very well, a young boy from Guadalajara
Chicharito Hernandez.
who went over Sir Alex Ferguson's team and became a sensation over Dimitar Berbatov, who was supposed to be the end-all be-all, the Ruud van Nistelrooy replacement. Rooney's finally has his partner, his friend, his pal, his confidant, and then it just wasn't working. Nani wasn't working with him in Manchester United. You know, he still had some stellar activity. Evra was crossing it to nobody until a young loanee came over in Javier El Chicharito Hernandez. And Sir Alex Ferguson was asked, why aren't you starting him? Why aren't you starting him? Well, he's the secret weapon. He has a secret sauce. He's the super sub.
And you had a Danny Welbeck also in
And
there.
it worked. And it worked.
Yeah. No.
So if I'm Mikey Varas, as much as I see, yes, it's working, Milan. I know you want to start. I know this. If you take everything as it's being taken, they played a 45. Now Invarston can play more than 45, probably 60. You throw Invarston there for 60, release Siloski for that last couple of minutes. He's going to get you out of a jam. He's going to get you a goal. He's going to get you some looks. But he's your super sub.
And I agree.
He's that change of pace.
And I agree to that extent.
gear
But I
change.
think at one point you have to reward the excellent performance. And why not just let him do that impact in the first 60 minutes and then just bring in Invarston to close out the game? I think there's two perspectives on that. I get where you're coming from. Chicharito ended up being a sub in the 2010 World Cup and then in the 2014 World Cup as well, and made a great impact. And Pio Herrera said it, right? He's playing better coming off the bench. I'm going to keep him and have him come off the bench and play at that level. And I agree. There are some players that play a lot better coming off the bench than when they start. So maybe Loski is one of those players. We won't know until we see him start, but A+ for now.
Yeah. Completely echo everything you guys say. Like he's like, here's a metaphor. If after every meal you get ice cream, that would be really, really good, right? Was that your favorite dessert? What's your favorite dessert to eat after? You have a favorite one? So like every game is a different meal. Like sometimes you're gonna get tacos, sometimes you're gonna get like a nice steak dinner.
Let me time out.
And then
hey, you're talking to two guys that were huge. There would be more than one dessert.
No. Stop right there. My dessert after my tacos is a pizza.
Okay.
My dessert for the pizza is a run to 7-Eleven, where then I would get some chips, but then you have to wash them down. And if I'm in if the paycheck allows, you know what? Some dibs.
Yeah, dibs are good.
Little dibs, little ice cream. Let it melt a little bit. It just kind of.
Gordo profesional. I love it. But
let me tell you, Abe. Hold on,
I
can't move from this, Abe. I need you to understand the level of fat we were. We're not the thinnest anymore, but maybe me. Driving to a taco shop to get the largest carne asada fries possible, but then having stopped at 7-Eleven before to get a bag of hot Cheetos so you can pour on it and just destroy on a 3-mile drive.
No, that's just
while driving.
That's just you.
That's the level that I'm talking about, Abe. Sickening,
I
delicious.
feel that in my stomach.
Delicious. Like
if I wouldn't have to drive because the 7-Eleven was steps away.
If you want to see a miracle in person, I will eat a whole orden de birria. Driving a stick shift and not get a single drop on my shirt. Chiva has been witnessed multiple times.
That's insane.
To be fair, that you had that stick shift a little bit before we started the pod, but yes, I've seen Tony do some incredible things while driving. Actually,
it's amazing.
It's scary and very. I don't recommend. It's not for the weak. But anyways, Milan Loski A+. Verhoeven, holy gordito, I respect it. Yeah, I mean that was the gordito that didn't make the videos for Baller Crew.
Please release that. That was actually a video that we failed at after having a morning of a whole birria, orden de birria. 100%.
That is true. All right, Verhoeven.
I mean, now we haven't seen a lot from him, but what we have seen,
I give him a B+.
I say C+.
Ooh.
And I say C+ because he's on his way.
I think he's been better than Willy Comado.
Comado. Marginally, because again, like, what do you get? You see definitely that he's going to be, I think, a better player.
I think he's a better player right now.
I don't think we've seen enough. But he's climbing, right? Next game, he has a good game. I bump him up to a B. But he's growing at a very good pace.
Yeah, I think it's making a tough decision to go between Willie and Verhoeven. I would give him a B, and if I had to choose someone to start, I'd probably choose Willie still at this point, just because I feel like he's a little bit better defensively than Verhoeven has been. But it is kind of just a coin flip there. They've both been pretty solid.
Camaro, good defense.
He has some good defensive moments, one-on-one, especially.
He's all right.
Alvarado.
Alvarado,
Alejandro Tocayo.
C plus.
B plus.
He's gotten better. I had him at a D maybe a month ago.
Mhm.
He's gotten a lot better.
Okay.
He almost scored probably the goal of the season for them.
Almost. So did Godoy a couple times.
Mm-hmm. I give him a C plus.
I think for him to come into the midfield without either replacing Yepe, replacing Anival, replacing Luca, and still performing at such a good level puts him at least a B for me, just because he can, at least to a certain extent, be a stopgap, of replacement, just cover the hole, because they do leave a big hole, and he's been able to produce still at a high level.
C only because it took him a little bit. Like that stat is
he
going to
did
haunt
start.
him.
He did start.
He had a
with
shaky
that
start.
Austin FC game,
And
but
so with the same vein of like Ian Pilcher, of like, okay, what have you done for me recently?
Going up.
It's going up. And for me, it's a steady C. It's just this steady, solid C.
Remember, C's get degrees.
Yeah.
A lot of college.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Alex
so many
Mighton,
players on this team.
The artist formerly known as Alex Mighton.
I'd give him a solid B.
Alvarado got a B from Brandon. Interesting.
I don't know
Yeah,
if I
see?
think he might have given it to
Brandon.
Verhoeven.
Maybe Verhoeven. Okay. Put the names of who it is next,
Yeah,
so we know.
I think I give Alex Mighton a B.
Mighton, a B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think he's been good. I mean, he's gotten injured. He hasn't gotten the most consistent minutes.
Mhm.
But the time we've seen him, he does keep the defense on their toes. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's a little messy of a player. Not like, you know what I mean, like a messy MESSY
Mm-hmm.
type player where anything can happen and it goes his way. But I give him a B.
Esteban agreeing with you over here, saying a Mighton, a C for Brandon.
A little bit closer to probably a C plus for me. I don't think he is like a presence without the ball. Like in that winger position, sometimes you'll be able to tell, like, okay, Chugi's on the field. You can tell he's still providing a good high pressure and then trying to get open. But Mighton kind of like disappears when he doesn't have the ball. But when he does have the ball, it's like looks really good. He's really good one-on-one. He's very fast. But I just would prefer without no ball play a little bit better. But he's still a pretty solid player. And obviously SDFC don't need him as much when they have so many other great players.
I think a stopgap is good. Like he's that change of pace that you need. Like sometimes, and that's what I in knowing that they were going to play this right to dream style, this certain stubborn way of going about things. They're going to keep playing, and when that doesn't work, they're going to rely on Dreyer, Chucky, or somebody else to do an individual play and get them out of a jam. That's what Alex Mighton is. He's that individual play every single time that you can. It's a home run hit. He's swinging for the fences every single time. He's not going to get you the single. He's not going to get you on base. He's swinging and wants to create the spectacular play. He's developed and learned now where he's not as we say in Spanish, goloso. He's not necessarily ball hogging and just forcing his way. He's taking his time, turning back, returning the ball, getting open in space, taking important fouls. I put him at a C plus. C plus.
Chris McVeigh,
A
plus. He's the best defender. He's the best. He had that one big mistake the last game, but he's played every single minute this season.
Yeah.
He's been the best defender.
Important on set pieces too.
Yeah.
He's scored
SDFC
are defense.
Tied as the third best defense in MLS. They've only allowed 20 goals this season, and a lot of that has to do with McVeigh's leadership there.
Mighton a C. He's Chucky without shots.
Stats.
Stats. He isn't the same without McNair. No, he's not, and I'll tell you why. Because usually, if that happens, he has to clean up for Ian Pilcher. He has to clean up for a different este morro. He played in Manodua. He's cleaning up for those roles when McNair's not there. So if you see whenever Willy Kumado also goes a little bit too high and he doesn't track back because that's his Achilles heel, he'll go up, but he's too late on the counters. Chris McVeigh will travel into that right back position and always clean up as much as he can. And he's keeps up.
He's playing the role. I think you said it weeks before. Like Chris McVeigh was what they expected of Andres Reyes.
Mhm.
And he stepped up into that role, which luckily it's worked out for Mikey Varas and company. But yeah, ¿quién es este güey? ¿Otro portero?
Yeah, another goalkeeper. That's Jacobs. McNair is way more important than McVeigh.
You're
More
entitled to
important
your
than
wrong
McVeigh.
opinion, 6-1 on soccer.
Well, I mean, it's,
If you
I can
had
see
it-
that. I can see that argument being
I-
made. McNair
I-
is a player with more experience. McNair is a player that technically on paper, if you tell me who do you want to have without seeing any SDFC, who do you want? Patty McNair? Oh man, he's played in Europe, he's played in the Premier League, he's played for League One. Or Chris McVeigh, I'm like going to probably pick Patty McNair. But based off the season alone, I think if I'm grading this as who's more important, I would say Chris McVeigh is more important because hasn't gotten injured. He's
Mhm.
played every single minute.
Mhm.
You've won without Patty McNair.
Yep.
You technically have not won a game without Chris McVeigh.
Very true. Very true. And that I was gonna say the same thing, but yeah, I agree with you with that. Yeah, 100%. This is goalkeeper Jacob Jackson. No need
The way
from San Diego.
from San Diego.
bring back Fari instead.
Congratulations, Duran. So that's kind of a little bit of impromptu rankings here. Just
I didn't
rank.
think we'd talk this much SDFC, but it's been fun.
It's actually pretty fun. Again, there
Yeah.
is a game
We
coming
should
up.
do that for Wave during the We're gonna have a long.
We're gonna
summer.
have a long
We'll talk
summer,
Waves,
We
so
have, and it's halfway.
we gotta split it out then.
Let's do predictions real quick for San Diego FC because
Well,
we have the Vancouver match, and then we can maybe catch a little bit of this training.
Okay.
We have the match against Vancouver. I already went ahead and inputted my predictions.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to hear what you guys have for Vancouver. I have a 1-0 win against San Diego for San Diego.
Or
San
San Diego.
I
San
think
Diego
San Diego
wins.
surprises. Vancouver doesn't have their main striker. They're gonna be starting Daniel Rios, who's not really the best attacking player. He played for Chivas like part of the season, so he's played better now, but it's not the same as their main striker. And then they also have I think his name's Berhalter, midfielder, who's been excellent this season, who's also called up for the national team. So I think as the SC surprise, Vancouver is the best defense in the league technically, so I can see it being a low scoring game.
You next.
I sense a 1-1 tie. It'll be a good match. It'll be back and forth. It'll be open but defensive. No, they're not going to want to make the errors.
Yeah.
SDFC will press. They'll score first, but then I can see them just giving up another goal and just not being able to get the ball across the line towards the end. I can also see a 2-1 or just a one goal difference if San Diego FC wants it. But I've seen games where they want it, but it doesn't work.
It's games like this that are like written to be one of the best like games of the season turned out into the biggest nuisance of games. That is like, man, no
that's
action.
what MLS gives you. Yeah.
Abe, what do you think?
I think I'm gonna agree with you. A 1-0 victory.
Ooh.
Vancouver is in a weird spot right now. San Diego FC, at least, it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be super close.
It's such a coin flip too, especially at the top of the MLS.
Watch San Diego surprise like 4-0 this match.
So we say surprise,
which I can see that. Which I can,
and
see
I could
that.
also easily see like Cody says, a 2-1 loss or anything.
Nothing's.
Can happen.
It's not surprising anymore. Anything can happen in this league. FC Dallas on the weekend. Abe, you said it's gonna be what, like 98 degrees over there?
Yeah, let me confirm how hot it's gonna be. But
I have a 2-1 win for San Diego. FC Dallas is not really the hottest team in MLS, and I think San Diego kind of found their groove. I think they can surprise against FC Dallas, especially in the heat. So I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win, San Diego.
Yeah. What is this?
82 degrees right now.
Right now,
but on Saturday it's gonna be.
But on
the highest 97 and the lowest 79.
Oof.
Gross.
Pónganse bloqueador. What do you guys think?
41% humidity.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. SDFC will win this one. It'll be I'll go with Esteban 3-1.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, 2-0 victory for San Diego FC. in that
Abe
match.
has back-to-back clean sheets predicted for San Diego on the
Wow.
road.
Yeah.
What did you
they're
give,
good.
CJ?
When you hear like that, you're like, oh,
I am a little
really?"
bit, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Those are our predictions. Again, right now the standings. Abe is leading the way with 12 points. Tony with 7. I am trailing with 4 points. I'm only 3 points behind you. So maybe this week I turn it around.
There you go.
I just gotta get one right.
All right, media availability. Again, thank you, our pal, buddy, Derek Togerson, from getting out there from NBC and asking some questions. Our good old
Nice.
peoples. They'd have media availability going into this match because this match for Vancouver is on Wednesday. Here is some sound from training with Oni Valakari.
Me personally, as a football player, you never really switch off. You're always thinking about it a little bit. So I think that's a problem for many footballers. It's harder to switch off than to keep staying focused. No, but it was a good time. I spent time with my family, and always nice to see them. And yeah, now full of energy back.
The first one back, you got a battle for first place up in
Yeah.
Vancouver. How much are you looking forward to this one?
I think we've been looking forward for this game for a long time. I think it's going to be 2 good teams. I think it's going to be a really good football match, really exciting, and a lot of tactical stuff. But I think we are ready. I hope they're ready also, and looking forward for the game.
This team put an identity together pretty quickly for a bunch of guys who had never really
Yep.
played that much together. What is, in your definition, what is the identity of this club?
Yeah, I think the identity that we have is really strong. I think it's also we have a lot of good players here, a lot of smart players. So it wouldn't be able without all of the players focusing on the one idea that we want to do, how we want to play with the ball, how we want to play without the ball. There's a lot of stuff that we work, and I think it's no coincidence how we're playing because every day we come to training and we do it day after day, day after day. So it's not like when the game comes that we just do something totally different. It's basically the only thing we know how to do because that's what we do every day, and I think that's how football works. Is you repeat doing stuff, and that's what happens on game day. So yeah, the basic cliche: you play how you train.
You look at Vancouver. If you had to pick one thing that jumps out they do really well, what would it be?
I think overall they're a really strong team. I think they're good on the ball. They're also good defending wise, pressing. In the defensive transitions, they're really good. Yeah, they have obviously a lot of good players. But no, I'm really excited for the game. It's going to be a good football match and really exciting. And I think these are the games every footballer wants to play when you're fighting for something, fighting for top positions. And these are the big games. And now it's time for us to show up.
And you don't want to look too far ahead, but you're packing for 2 trips here. So
Yeah.
what's a very, very quick turnaround going over to Dallas?
Yeah.
What kind of a unique situation for Major League Soccer? How do you prepare for something like this and get ready for Dallas, but not overlook something like Vancouver?
No, I think the focus is on Vancouver. Obviously, the game comes quick after. No, me personally, I'm just thinking about the next game, and then the next game comes after that. As a football player, you want to play games every 2-3 days, so that's the most fun thing. So I think everybody's happy that we get to play these games. Obviously, 2 games away, tough games away, but yeah, just full focus on Wednesday, and then after that, we see what happens on Saturday.
No matter what part of the season, you guys always want to find yourself in a position where 3 points can take you to the top of the table. How much do those circumstances kind of play into the build-up for the match for you guys, though?
Yeah, I don't think we're not going into the game thinking oh, now we have to do something special or to get the first place in the West Conference. We're just going to go there and do the same thing that's gotten us to this position that we are in now. So nothing really changes, and we're going to go there, only focus on our performance. We can't control the result. Only thing we can focus on is how we mentally focus for the game, our performance, how we go into the game, our tactics. So that's what we're focusing on. And then after 90 minutes, we're going to see what the score is.
And then also,
Oni Valakari being one of the international players that came back, playing over and representing the country of Finland. Finland.
Finlandia.
The Finnish finisher.
Finnish midfielder.
Again,
That's
this
that
Wednesday is
guy.
going to be a fun match to watch. It's second against first place, is the best against the best in the West.
For a little bit for me, the best players aren't there, so it's not as awesome as it could be.
What do you mean the best player in MLS is going to be there?
Luca de la Torre isn't there. You don't have Berhalter there. They're both with the national team. Godoy is going to
They'll
be
get to
with
face each other
Goldcrown.
again later in the season.
Yeah, but I really don't like the MLS
Till
schedule.
this day, this is the biggest game for San Diego FC this season.
Mm,
Do you
It's a
think
cha-
their home
it's a-
opener was bigger? I mean, maybe not home opener, but their
but
first match against LA Galaxy.
There's a chance to go top of the table. I think that's bigger than anything.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah.
Like for SDFC, past halfway through the season, them being first in the West, están callando hocicos everywhere.
I like that.
So
San Diego FC again, Vancouver here at Snapdragon Stadium. Get there, get your tickets. Also, just throwing this on your radar, Leagues Cup coming soon for
in July,
San Diego FC. So just put that also on your radars, I guess, people.
Have
so-
they set the dates?
Yeah, actually, it's
July
right
29th,
here.
August 1st, and August 5th.
Absolutely,
Nice.
positively.
All at Snapdragon Stadium, correct?
Yep, correct.
yeah.
So Pachuca, you can find it at Apple TV.
8 o'clock. Ugh. 8
Mhm.
p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
So imagine being a Pachuca fan.
Yeah.
¿Qué hora es en Pachuca?
10 p.m.
11
Right
p.m.
now
right
it's
now.
11.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's an hour ahead. Oh, están en el tiempo. The time change is different. I think it's a 2-week
yeah,
thing before. By then, by the time this game starts, it's going to be a 2-hour difference.
later in August, the first day of August, at 8 p.m. Tigres.
July 29th, that's a Tuesday at 8 p.m.
I'm fine with the Tuesday, actually. Mazatlan on the 5th. So back-to-back Leagues Cup.
Another Tuesday. And the first is a Friday
I'm curious.
weekday game.
I wanted to go see and buy a ticket for Leagues Cup for Pachuca. What would it cost me?
$40.
Huevo y medio.
31. Cheapest ticket.
31. Not
Uh,
bad.
And then
It's
plus
resale.
fees, about 60
Probably.
bucks.
And $50 of parking.
Yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays. Yep, that's gonna be it.
Tuesday.
So
I
when would
think-
media availability be?
Sunday.
Okay.
Technically, I think Leagues Cup also has different rules, so it might
Oh, it's
not be match
CONCACAF.
day
Yeah,
minus.
it's CONCACAF.
I think it's usually match day -1 instead of -2.
Yeah, it's going to be the Monday.
And then also
at
at
Snapdragon.
Snapdragon as well.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.